Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Modern Mining. Today I've got a pretty interesting video. I'm currently syncing a node on the Xelis network so that I can solo mine with my entire mining farm to my own node to reduce latency and hopefully boost profitability with my GPU mining farm. So today I'm going to walk you through how to set up a Xelis node. I looked all over the internet and I couldn't find a tutorial. I had to have the developer of Xelis Slicks actually help me set it up. Special thanks to him. So right now I'm currently going through the process of syncing my node. It's gonna take, it looks like, a few days. I'm currently at a topo height of 43,000 out of 1.5 million, and it's been going for about 6 hours. So probably gonna be 2 to 3 days before this is up to date and actually running. So let's fast forward a couple days from now and let's get into it. Today's video is brought to you by Crypto Miner Bros. 2025 is going to be an electric year for crypto mining. Right now might be the last time to get a good deal on ASIC miners before the prices start to rise. Crypto Miner Bros has all the most profitable ASICs from the most popular brands, including Jazz Miner, Ice River, Bitmain. Price you see is the final price you pay. No hidden fees or customs, which is super nice. Use code MODERN to get $70 off every item in your cart, regardless of price. I'll leave links down below to my favorite miners, and with that, let's get back into it. So don't mind this crusty old laptop. This thing just got retired after like 6 days. It's got stains all over it. The charger barely works. The battery's dead, so it has to be charging. But this is what you want to use for your node. Just a very cheap PC that you don't mind running 24 hours a day and you don't need for really anything else. I believe you can also do nodes on like Raspberry Pis. Definitely let me know down below. This is the first node that I've ever done. So I'm curious to see you guys who are more advanced to give me some tips on that. Okay guys, fast forward a day and you can see that we are indeed caught up with the current blockchain. We are synced. And so now we can go ahead and get into how did I actually set this up and can I mine to it on my entire GPU mining farm? And most importantly, will it yield to more profits than mining on a pool? Because that's kind of the main thought process behind doing something like this. You're cutting out the pool, so that's a fee that you don't have to pay, a middleman you don't have to pay, and you're solo mining, but you're doing it with the lowest latency possible, which should, in theory, lead to more blocks. All right, guys, I mentioned earlier that this is the first node I've ever set up. So I'm by no means an expert, and I was definitely asking Slicks, the developer of Xelis, a lot of questions along the way, mainly so I can make this video as informative as possible. But I did go ahead and ask ChatGPT what exactly is a cryptocurrency node, and I tried to get specific for Xelis, but it doesn't have that. But either way, there's some good points in here that I kind of want to go over with you guys. So what a node does, it's basically a local copy of the blockchain that you're running from your house, which is basically decentralizing the network. So say if all the nodes are run in the country of Russia and they lose all power, then basically nothing is keeping track of the blockchain. But if people have nodes in tons of different countries, bunch of individuals have them, then it's going to take a crazy event for basically everybody's nodes to shut off and there not be any record of the blockchain. So what it does is it basically validates transactions as they come in. It also maintains the blockchain by storing a complete copy of it, which is why I had to spend a few days syncing it, though it did actually only take 1 day. Slicks told me a little shortcut to speed it up that I'll show you guys shortly. What else does it do though? Provides decentralization, like we talked about, network security. Now, not for Xelis specifically, but for other blockchains, you can normally earn rewards. Like we all know about Neoxa nodes, how you get a little bit of a reward for running that node. So unfortunately, in Xelis' case, there's not staking rewards or node rewards, but there is the potential to make more from solo mining, running your own node. And that's kind of what we're going to try out in this video because it applies to us miners the most. But I do recommend, if you believe in Xelis as a coin and if you want GPU mining to go somewhere, then you should believe in Xelis as a coin, that running as many nodes as possible, or I guess as many people running nodes as possible, is always going to be good for the blockchain and for Xelis. So I recommend doing it. Okay, with that, let me show you guys quickly how to set up this node. Like I mentioned earlier, you want to have it on like a Raspberry Pi or an old laptop or some sort of PC that you don't mind having on 24/7. I'm doing it with an old laptop, but you can figure out whatever you want. That little wall PC I have in the garage, that would also be a good option for something like this. But I will have a link down below to the GitHub of the Xelis project. You're going to want to download this pc-windows-gnu.zip. And when you click that, it is almost certainly going to get flagged as a virus and not let you download it. So what you need to do is to go into your Windows security and actually turn off real-time protection. And that's going to let you download the files. And then once you do that, I definitely recommend turning this back on. We'll see if it breaks anything else in this process, but I'm just turning it back on so I don't forget. So now that we have extracted that release that we downloaded, there's a couple files in here, and the Xelis_daemon one is what we need to run. And I'll just run it real quick to show you. We'll allow access there. That this is going to start syncing the blockchain to your computer. So you can see the topo height is 0 out of 1.5 million, which is what we expect, because downstairs that one is synced and it's about at 1.5 million out of 1.5 million. So if you do it like this, you can see how quick it's going. 20, 22, 24. It's going to take a long time. I think I only got to like 300,000 in like 16 hours or something yesterday. So it was going to take multiple days, and I didn't want to have to wait for that. So there is a quicker way to do this. So what you want to do is pull up a command prompt, and then you want to do run as administrator. And then from here, we need to navigate to this folder specifically. So if we just copy this basically file path, and then in here we type cd space that file path, it's going to put us in that directory. And if we type in dir, it's going to tell us all the stuff that we have in here. So from here, what we need to do is run that Xelis daemon executable, but we need to do it with a couple extra commands. And then from here, we're going to type in the executable we're trying to run. So Xelis_daemon.exe, and then we're going to put in the command --allow-boost-sync. And if we run that, you can see that this is going to start flying. It's going to be going basically 10 times as fast as it was previously. 410, 776, 1145. So this is going to sync it much faster. So I definitely recommend using that command. But now that we know how to actually get the node set up, I'm going to close that because I don't want to run the node on my main PC here, and I'm just going to delete all this stuff. Let's go ahead and try to start solo mining to our node that's running on our laptop downstairs. Now, one thing that you need to keep in mind too is that if your laptop or node goes down, you're going to be basically mining to nothing for however long it is until you update that. And another thing is that you need to pay attention to the coin itself. When it releases new versions and stuff, you do need to update your node. I haven't done any of that yet, so I'm not sure what that process looks like, but I do know when hard forks happen, that alerts get sent out for node operators to update their nodes. So that's one thing I'm interested in, is how stable is my laptop downstairs. And I guess I'll show you one more thing on here, is that on the computer that you're running your node on, go into power and this power and sleep settings. And you want to set this so that your PC is not turning off after a set amount of time. And if you're on a laptop, you're going to have different options for plugged in versus battery. Obviously you want to have it plugged in, but you want to set these to basically never for screen and never for sleep. You don't have to do screen, but I like to keep the screen on, so if I'm walking past in the garage and I notice that it's off, then I can quickly troubleshoot, because otherwise it may be a long time before I realize. Okay, one of the next things that you need to do to start mining to your node is you need to figure out what IP your laptop or your node is on your local network. Because what we're going to be doing is going into HiveOS, and instead of using the pool stratum URL, we're actually going to be using our internal IP. And per Strix, the default port is going to be 8080. So to figure that out, I'll show you on this computer. You're going to type in ipconfig, and then you are specifically looking for this IPv4 address, which is the 192.168.68.85. This is similar to the address that like your ASIC miners are going to be on. So I just made a video earlier today where we had to work on my AL0s, and they were on 192.168.68.50 and 51. So I'm gonna go actually check what my laptop is, and then let's get into Hive OS and try setting it up. Okay, so I just went and checked the laptop, and it is on the 8.4 port. So let's go into flight sheets on my test rig here. This is my 6-card 3060 Ti and 3070 rig, and we will go ahead and make a new flight sheet on here. Now I'm just winging it at this point, so we'll see if this works first try. But let's duplicate our current flight sheet, and we can make changes from there. So we'll edit this one, and we will change this to Xelis Solo Mining Node. And a couple things we need to change here is what wallet we want this to go to. I'm fine with going to TradeOgre for now. For the pool, we want to change this to configured in miner, and then setup miner config. The pool URL, now this is where we're going to set the 192.168.68.84 port 8080. And I think that is gonna be it. So let's just go ahead and try to run this. Very curious to see if this works first try. Now, one thing to keep in mind too is that when you're solo mining to your own node, you won't have like that super handy Viper pool dashboard that shows you what your effort is, how many blocks you've hit, etc. The only thing that you'll be able to check is your Xelis Explorer and look at basically your address and see how many blocks you're hitting. So let's go ahead. Oh, I need to actually apply this flight sheet while we're in here. So let's go ahead and take that Xelis address and put it in the Explorer. And I'm probably just gonna bookmark that for now. So when I look up this wallet, I think I'm seeing a ton of different stuff because this is a TradeOgre wallet. So I'm seeing basically everyone's transactions, and that's what this basically is saying right here. So let's actually set this up to run to my Genesis wallet. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but this is the basically web wallet for Xelis. And if you don't have one of these wallets, if you just go to the Xelis homepage and go to resources, then wallets, you can see the Genesis wallet is right here. Now, I will say I like this wallet a lot, and it's definitely very easy to work with. You can export your transactions. It's pretty nice, honestly. Okay, so if we select this wallet here, then we can go into our flight sheet, and let's actually change that. We'll add a wallet, and we'll put it in our address here, and then we'll name this Xelis Genesis, and we can save as global wallet, create, and okay. We'll update that. And now we will see if this is mining, and we can also paste that wallet into the Explorer, and let's see, that looks a lot better. We can see my 2 transactions that when I transferred my Xelis from TradeOgre to my wallet here. So this is probably gonna be a situation where it's good to open a remote connection so I can actually like monitor what exactly is happening here, since I have no idea if this is gonna work or not. Okay, if we go to the miner, what are we looking at here? Failed to parse HTTP 1.1. Okay, so something is obviously not working with the connection. So I'm gonna go back to here and back to our flight sheets. And let's stop this miner for now and do some more troubleshooting here. Okay guys, I ended up getting it working. I had to contact Xelis, and there was a couple things that we needed to change. So let me show you those real quick. If you go into your flight sheet, you need to add solo plus TCP ... in front of your IP address. That's one thing. And then your wallet is going to be defaulted to wallet dot, let's see here, worker name, like that. You want to get rid of the worker name and only have the wallet. And you cannot use the TradeOgre wallet. This has to either be a Genesis wallet or a CLI wallet or one of the Xelis official wallets. So with that, you should be able to start mining here. And I'm trying to get confirmation on how to actually confirm that this is working properly, because you're not going to be getting accepted shares unless you actually hit a block. So once I have 1 accepted share, that will stand for 1 accepted block. I talked to Xelis, and this is where you can see if it's working. It should show your miners showing up here. Okay, so now that we know that it's working, there's a couple things I want to show you guys why this should technically be the best method of solo mining available to you, and we'll see if it's more profitable than pool mining, because mathematically it should be. Over time, luck is going to balance out, and we should basically make the exact same as pool mining, but since pool mining has a fee, Therefore, we should be making more on the solo mining. It's just gonna have a lot more swings of very lucky or very unlucky where you might not find a block for a few days. So let's hope that doesn't happen, because the last time I tried solo mining, I went 250% effort, basically back to back, and that was when I just stopped it. But hopefully that doesn't happen this time. So what I want to show you guys is, let's check out the ping of mining to Viper Pool versus mining to my own node. So we have here the 2Miners ping tool. If you don't know what this is, it's a great way to check the ping on different pools, and I will have a link to this video that I explain this up here. But let's check this out. So the Viper pool, we can see that our average ping is 27 milliseconds. And for our internal node, our average ping is 2 milliseconds. So literally 14 times faster than using the Viper pool. Now, I'm not sure what that translates to in terms of how much more blocks you're gonna find. A 14x increase in ping is gonna translate to what amount more blocks that you would find. I don't know, and if you guys know, definitely let me know down below. So I guess let's flip every single rig that I have onto our node and let's do some experimenting. And once we do that, I probably won't end this video. We'll fast forward a few days and see how many blocks we've hit, what's it look like. For documentation's sake, let's go into Viper Pool where I have been mining to, and let's see what I've been making per day. Okay, I forgot I switched to K1 Pool for their Xelis bonus the last few days. So it's saying that my coins per day is expected to be 2.58 Xelis. So as long as we're making above that or close to that, then we should be better off solo mining. And there you have it. All of my rigs are now mining to my node. Let's go down and look at the node one last time to make sure that it's showing 4 workers. And then we will fast forward a few days and see if we get any blocks. Fingers crossed we find a ton of them. All right, guys, I gotta say, I'm pretty excited to be running off this node. I'm hoping for some very good results. So miners 4, that's how you know it's working just fine. It does somehow look like we're maybe using less power. Let me check my cards, because hopefully one didn't crash during that switch. After looking, everything's running fine. I forgot that I dropped the overclocks on the Rainbow rig here, which I guess was a good move because I saved like 200 or 300 watts doing that. But all right, I'll see you guys in about a week. Wish me luck. Hopefully this does very good. All right, guys, it's been exactly 3 days and I have good news and bad news. So the good news is that I did hit some blocks. Our setup is working correctly and I was able to solo mine to my own node. Quick plug for my Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter and you want to get like behind the scenes updates of what's going on with my farm, definitely follow me on Twitter. I only have 200 followers compared to 10,000 followers on YouTube. So there's definitely a big gap there. I definitely recommend checking it out if you want to see some behind the scenes stuff. But let's take a look at my Explorer here. I mentioned that since we're not mining to a pool, we don't have like a nice beautiful UI to see our effort and all that. But we can see when I get deposits to my account, and you can see that I've hit 4 blocks in the past 3 days. So what does that mean? Is that good or is that bad? Would we have made more from mining to a pool, or did we make more solo mining? And unfortunately, we got unlucky. We did not earn as much as we could have if we had just mined to a pool. So we made 4.68 Xelis in the past 3 days. But if we use Xelis's mining calculator here and put in our hash rate of 1.225 megahash, it says that we should hit a block about every 15 hours. So basically 2 a day. That's exaggerating a little bit, but with those numbers, I should have hit about 7 Xelis and I only got 4.68. So we did miss out on like 2.3, or maybe if we round down, about 2 Xelis doing the solo mining. And that's not necessarily to be expected because solo mining is extremely based on luck. So I could have come back here and found 10 blocks and made way more than I would have if I was on a pool. But we got relatively unlucky, and so we didn't make as much. So definitely solo mining has a unique place in a crypto miner's kind of arsenal of tools that they can use. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of it because if I'm spending $20 a day in power, I want to at least make sure that I'm getting $20 a day back. It very much hurts me when I mine for a whole day and get $0 out of it. That becomes a lot harder to explain to the wife why we've got a supercomputer running $20 a day in the garage. So I am going to leave this node running because I do want to support the Xelis project, but unfortunately I think I am probably going to switch back to pool mining just because it's less stressful, and that's kind of what I like to run with. I hope this was at least informational for you guys and can help you set up your own node. If you want to know why I'm so big on the Xelis project, check out this video on the way out where I walk through why I think Xelis has huge potential. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.